Okay, so today I'm going to show you the new PAT940 Smart Titrator, and we're going to be performing a total acid number. So here you've got 3 pods. We call this the control pod, which is where you do all your screen navigation. You have your titrate pod, where all the chemistry happens, and then we have what's called a dispense pod, which is where the titrant is dispensed through the syringe and into your sample vessel. So on the back there's a switch, so I'm just going to switch each of these on. Within the user manual there's a set procedure on how to install PAT, so how to put all the wires together and get it all plumbed together. So while it's powering up, as you can see here, I've already attached 0.1 mole of potassium hydroxide in IPA, which is the titrant, and here, as you can see, we have 2 tubes. These are easily fitted into the syringe, and then here we have the dispense tip, which is very simple. All you do is screw this in, and then this sits into the electrode platform on this hand side. Just sits in like that. So from startup, all we need to do is select PAT. That's the middle section here, and it's all touchscreen, and you can use gloves. As you can clearly see, I'm using gloves. Okay, so from startup, what you see is when you have an electrode, insert it in the back, which I have already inserted, you get this screen appears. Now this is to indicate whether your electrode needs calibrating. So if you have an electrode plugged in, this will automatically pop up, and it's a recognition to prompt you to whether you need to calibrate that electrode or not. At the minute you can see 2 here. There's 2 electrode ports, so I have 2 plugged in, and these I've calibrated today. If I remove one, I'll just demonstrate. Message electrode 2 disconnected. So at the moment I'm just going to press no. Now just for demonstration purpose, if I were to plug electrode 2 back in, like so, there you see, electrode inserted, port 2, and again, if you want to calibrate, it will take you straight through to the calibration screen. We'll go through this at a later stage, so I'm just going to go back to the main menu. Now here there's a little home icon in the top left corner. If I press this, that'll take you back to the home screen. Now this will appear on every single screen, so if you need to go back to the home screen. Another thing from startup is very important, is what you need to do is initialize the syringe. Now if you press OK, the syringe will do a 3-cycle flush, and it's also a good way to prime the syringe. So all I'm going to do here, as it's previously got titrant in it, I'm just going to pop it into waste. I'm just going to press OK. Just use this beaker here.
Right hand.
As you can see, it's just removing all of the air bubbles from the lines. It's set at maximum rate. This is a default parameter that can't be changed. So there we go. Right, so the syringe is now initialised and the syringe is now primed. Just going to give that a little bit of a wipe. Pop that back on the electrode platform. Okay. Second thing we need to do is we need to initialize our titrate pod. So very simple in here. In manual operation, you have 5 buttons here. So you have anything manually you need to do with the titrate pod, the syringe, and then you've got your calibration here as well. Your millivolt pH here is just a reading where you can view the millivolts. If you just want to have a look, see how your electrode is performing, you can check both if you want to at the minute. So at the moment I'm in electrode 1. Currently it's in water. I'm just hydrating the electrode at the minute. So you can see there the pH reading and the millivolt reading. So if I just go back a moment. So initialization of the titrate pod. Okay, this is what you'll see. Because PAT can also perform 2 titrations at the same time, you have 2 titrate pods. So this refers to 1, this refers to 2. At the moment we're only interested in 1. So here, initialize titrate pod. Gives you the option. We're only focused on 1. Press 1. And there you go, that's initialized. There you go. So once it's initialized, you can now activate it manually. So 0 will just send it right back to the top. Here you have 2 options of titration vessels. So you have the 170ml, which is the standard vessel, and we also offer a 210ml. Which is just for taller, and also here you can check the stirrer speed as well in here. So now that's initialized, we can move on. Just as a prompt as well, every time you go back to the home page, there is a prompt if you want to initialize the syringe again. So we can just cancel that. So here, already what I've done here, this is your favourites methods. So I've loaded 3 methods onto my home page. So it's also a quick start. Now I'll show you how to do this. If we go to Method Center, what we have 5 different colours. Now these relate to the titration type. At the moment we're focused on total acid number and total base number. So all the non-aqueous titrations are in the red section. As you can see, our electrodes are colour coded as well to the titration type. So here we've got a red electrode. So now what if I press the red and load method? These are all the methods that have already been pre-programmed into PAT. So we have our tan blank, our standard sample method, we've got the standardisation of the titrant, and then we have D2896, we've got the base number method, the standardisation of perchloric acid, and the sample method. So to update to your home screen, I'll just show you, for example, I have 4 methods. You can have up to 50 on your home page. If I deselect all of these, update favourite, they're now removed from favourites. So there, as you can see, there's no favourites. Now, if we go back into our method center, load method. Today we're only focused on tan blank and tan sample. So we'll select those 2, methods 1 and 2, update, home page. There we go. So now they're ready to go, and these you can access quick start from here. Briefly, I'm just going to show you, if you wanted to create a new method, press the red, always press the colour button first, new method. And here you can enter all the parameters using drop down boxes, or you might want to enter value yourself. So a numbered keypad automatically pops up if you're entering numbers. It's similar sort of format as the technology that's on the market at the moment. Press enter. Or, for example, if you're entering words, here we go with new titration, automatically you get the letter keypad pop up. So that's how you would create a new method. If I go back there, if you press the red again, we can edit methods. So here, default is red. So these are all the methods that have already been pre-programmed under the non-aqueous titration type. So if we were looking at, for example, the tan blank, which is what we're going to run today, you can see all the parameters been pre-entered. You can edit any one of these as you choose. I'll scroll down to the bottom. Here you have your calculations as well. So if I were to press add, for example, these are all the pre-programmed formulas within PAT you can choose from. And if you just press yes, then it would select that one. I'll just press no for now. Okay, so if I back out of that, that's just an overview, very quick overview of how to load, create a new method and edit methods. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to set up a blank so we can see a result. So if I go back to the home page, here we go, it's my tan blank method. If I select this, you have your sample information screen. Sample ID, could be a batch number or anything, call it blank, you can call it anything you like. A username, you can set this up in system settings very simply. Default dispense pod 1, so that's already set up. Again, if you had a dual titration, you might want to choose that one instead. And then we're running a blank. So for this, my electrode has been conditioning in water.